Hey guys, Nate here from the 80/20 Drummer, and today I want to show you a quick solo lick that will sound faster than it really is. In other words, it'll let you keep your brain on a slower tempo and think ahead at the same time as it's creating the illusion that you're playing higher order subdivisions. So a quick background into how I arrived at this problem that I'm now making a lesson on. I was deep diving on Instagram the other day and I discovered Taron Lockett's video. There are a couple from his originals band, and there's a solo over a sort of amp clocking in at around like 140 BPM. So I was messing around with that. You know, I had the metronome on quarters or eighths or something, and I was just and I realized that I was hiccuping a lot. For some reason, 140 is in this gray area for me where it's really difficult to both play original ideas and also not hiccup, which is the central issue when we improvise. So I tried, instead of playing finer subdivisions, I tried to play slower. So what do you do when you're trying to play 140 but you want to play more slowly? Why not play at 70? So then you're thinking in terms of the half note, right? So then instead of, you might be thinking quarters and eighths, right? So that same tempo. And I was able to execute my ideas more cleanly, more clearly, but when I wanted a way to turn up the heat and make it feel like I was playing in the full subdivision again, I started using these kind of grace notes. And I distilled it down to a couple that I think will be really easy to teach you guys. And here's the first one. 3, 4. So what is that? At its basic, it's really just 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. But we're adding in a grace note with the kick drum, which makes it sound really hip. So let me play it without the grace note and then with the grace note. 3, 4. So there are a number of orchestrations you can use, and I was hinting at that just a second ago. But before I do that, I want to show you the other hip variation of that, which is you can actually do a 5-note pattern. So if you think of this as like a 6/16 note long pattern, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If those are eighths, then there'll be 6/16. Then the next one is 5/16 long. So I'll play it for you raw first and then show you kind of how to count it. So 3, 4. So what are we doing there? We're just doing the 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we're cycling that over the top of 4. So 3, 4. And I was only doing it for 2 bars, so you could latch onto the one, but you could certainly continue that 5 loop over everything. So there's not much more to it than that. It's just hand to hand again, so. But instead of keeping time with the hats, we're going. And then just like the 6, we're adding that little extra grace note with the kick drum to make it sizzle. Etc. So now let me show you some of the orchestrations I like to do. So obviously with both of those licks, and we'll use the 6 to illustrate. The most basic would just be hand to hand. So you can definitely play around the kit doing that. And the great thing is that it allows you to approach some of that gospel vocabulary where it sounds like things are really fast, but it looks like the guy's hands are floating. Like, this is another big way you can get into some of that vocabulary. But 2 other things I like to do are double stops in place of where the left hand would hit. So instead of, you go, so that you can come up with things like, and the other one, you can add a kick note in place of the left hand. So instead of, you can go. And finally, you can play an open or closed hat with the left hand, lining up with that last kick. So 3, 4. So let me put those all together. I'm going to play a little bit of the 6 lick and a little bit of the 5 lick for you with some of those orchestrations. So 3, 4. So that kind of shows you how you can apply some of those things. And now let me play a little bit more organically to show you how you might think in a slower rhythmic tempo, like half notes or whole notes, but incorporate things like that to make it feel faster. 3, 4. You can do that sort of thing. So hopefully you've gotten something out of this lesson, guys. It'll all be transcribed for you so you can practice this stuff. And I urge you not only to practice the lick, but also using it in context, improvising with it, and then going in and out of it the way I just did. So guys, now's the part of the lesson where I tell you what you can do if you've enjoyed this instruction so far and you'd like to take it a little further. I recommend something called the 80/20 coaching course, which is like 6 to 9 months of studying with me for around the price of a single lesson. More information about that on my website, and let me tell you how you can get a gateway drug to the coaching course completely free. Just click the link down below the video player and you'll get my 3 free videos which will improve your playing more in 3 weeks than it's improved in the last 6 months. I know once you check that out, feel the surge in your drum ability, you'll come back to me for all your instructional needs. Dudes, it's been real. Great to be back. Enjoy these. We'll be back again soon with another lesson of the week. Peace.